I did a random mid-season awards which pay nothing and are strictly based on my opinion. So I'm going to do random postseason awards. Again, pay nothing, based strictly on my opinion. You can like, dislike. I know I'll probably get a dislike or two for one of them. I don't care. But first, Driver of the Year. Gotta make that a tie. Jimmie Johnson and Matt Kenseth. What can you say? 1-2 in points, 7. Matt Kenseth 7 wins, Jimmie Johnson 6 wins. Obviously, tie to me. Team of the Year. It was close between Hendrick and Gibbs, but by Hendrick winning the championship, I give it to Hendrick. Feud of the Year. Hamlin-Logano. Denny Hamlin, Joey Logano. I wonder if it was them fighting when they were both at Gibbs. It was kept hushed up. Don't know that for sure. Worst tire. D4560. I've got a whole vlog up. Goodyear needs to junk it. Never bring it to a racetrack again. NASCAR needs a rule. It can't run. Worst race. Tie. Watkins Glen and Sears Point, the road courses. Road courses stink. Race or races that need to be shortened. Both Pocono races would be much better at 300 miles. It was a step in the right direction going to 400, but the races at Pocono are too long. Biggest upset. Now this is an easy one. The Talladega Spring Race with Front Row Motorsports. David Reagan and David Gilliland running 1-2, and their other car with Josh Wise in the top 20. When an underfunded team takes 3 cars to Talladega, if they even all finish somewhere in the top 20 and nothing gets wrecked, it's a good day. So obviously a great day. Biggest disappointment. Now I realize Stewart-Haas Racing was down this year to a point, but Danica Patrick, I mean, that's Hendrick equipment. And the bad part is, and I've watched this on the Track Pass, she is a moving chicane. And the worst part is she's got that Hendrick power down the straightaway, so her car runs down the straightaway. Go ahead and dislike. I don't care for that. I know there's some Danica fans, but sorry. Because I know she finished 8th at Daytona. Looked like she might have a decent season and a good run at Martinsville. But other than that, disaster. Off-season bonehead move by driver or silly season bonehead move. Ryan Newman to Richard Childress Racing. Pure and simple. He's only keeping the seat warm for about 2 years for Ty Dillon. Off-season bonehead move by team. That's a tie. Chip Ganassi bringing Kyle Larson up, who I don't think's ready. And Tommy Baldwin Jr. bringing Michael Annett up because he got the Flying J. Needs to shut up award. Brad Keselowski. I know some of you might say me, but so be it. Saddest story of the year. I'm going to make this a tie. Of course, Jason Leffler, and I took some heat for not mentioning him in the mid-season awards, being tragically killed in a sprint car, and Denny Hamlin missing races with back injury. Biggest controversy. Manipulating the chase by Michael Waltrip Racing and Penske Racing. Bonehead call by NASCAR. Tie. Reducing the penalty on Penske and Gibbs. Penske seemed to be pretty far out with what they had by what you heard the people in the know saying. Gibbs with the Matt Kenseth and the underweight rod, I would have been okay if they'd done one thing on that. Take the points for the win away, the 3 bonus points. That would have been fine with me. And I don't like these 2-0 after race penalties because the cars settle, springs wear. That's honorable mention. Best race, I got to say the Daytona 500. And I watched most of them. I missed a few, but watched them on DVR. But Daytona 500 was one of the best ones in years, if you ask me. Biggest surprise for the season by a driver. Kevin Harvick winning the races he did, contending for the championship, finished third in points in a season that he was basically, everybody knew he was lame duck going into it. That to me was a surprise. Bonehead move by driver in the season. I got to give it to Tony Stewart for racing sprint cars. Sorry, them things are dangerous. Bonehead move by sponsor. GoDaddy staying in NASCAR with Danica Patrick and leaving IndyCar James Hinchcliffe. GoDaddy could latch on to somebody like a Chase Elliott and come up through the ranks with them. Or go sponsor a driver that runs up front every week. But Danica's a publicity stunt. Hinchcliffe wins IndyCar race and they leave him. Honorable mention for Flying J for sticking with Michael Annett. There's got to be family. There's got to be some kind of connection there why they keep sticking with him. Biggest surprise by NASCAR, adding Gordon to the chase. In my opinion, Logano for what Penske negotiating with another team should have been kicked out of the chase. And also Clint Boyer for what I consider a deliberate spin at Richmond. And I'm not the only one. Bonehead move by team in the silly season. Got to give that to JTG Doherty for AJ Allmendinger. I'm glad to see him get a chance. Don't get me wrong. He's done good, run good at Indy, won a couple nationwide races for Penske. But is not the driver Bobby Labonte is. I got news for you, 47 car. It's not the driver, it's the car. The only thing AJ Allmendinger might do well on is the road courses because of his background. Good move by team off season. Germain, the 13 car with Casey Mears, crew chief Booty Barker, going to Chevy with RCR. Innocent victim driver, Martin Truex Jr. He wound up being the victim getting kicked out of the chase because of what Michael Waltrip Racing was doing on spotter stand and so forth, and frankly, he was the wrong Michael Waltrip driver to get kicked out of the chase. I said before it should have been Boyer. Most improved rich kid of any of the top 3 series. Now, I've been on this rich kid kicks before. Got a whole vlog up if you go back far enough. Got to give it to Paul Menard, but I've actually got to give honorable mention to the one I called the worst of the lot, John West Townley. Has actually had some decent runs in the trucks. Actually won the ARCA race at Daytona. But basically driving for Venturini in what was said to be Gibbs equipment. And oh, by the way, Bobby Gerhart didn't finish. He would have never beat Gerhart. Nobody beats Gerhart at Daytona when he finishes without problems. That's just been kind of my take. Comment, like, dislike. I know, like I say, I know for hating on Danik and they say, you old fool, you can't drive a race car. I don't claim to be a driver. These are just some fun things I do that are nothing, strictly my opinion. Oh, I'm going to add one honorable mention to the best feud of the year. Kevin Harvick and Ty Dillon after the truck race at Martinsville, ironically, who at that time were both working for Richard Childress Racing. Harvick has left to go to Stewart Hall's, but Harvick was not driving a Childress truck in the race, and he called Ty Dillon a rich kid. Harvick called him a punk. And oh, by the way, on this rich kid stuff, I got a comment, why didn't I put Dale Earnhardt Jr. in the rich kids? The rich kids are the ones who basically, it's a family company or some company their family has a connection with on the side of the race car. That's why I didn't. And the ones I mentioned, I've said this before, will never win the races or championships in Nationwide that Dale Earnhardt Jr. has.